Thank you very much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields, tracking a lot of areas out there, I know, so we'll go system by system and look at this little micro spin or kind of mini spin. This is what I was highlighting a few days ago. You get these sneaky little spin ups, and that brought us some heavier rain. Antigua and Bermuda last night and early this morning. Even some thunderstorms may have woken you up in some spots, so we'll get into that. This area that will try to develop north of the Bahamas, another area in the eastern Pacific, and then we have this as we work our way over toward the coast of Africa. That one looks like it's becoming Gordon. Maybe if you're watching this video, it may have already become Gordon at that point. Still tropical depression 7 right now. But this little area here, that's what I've been watching the last few days, and it did sneak in, as expected, today into the northeastern Caribbean, and it is helping to bump up our rain chance in spots. I'm not seeing development out of that, but if we ask our friends in certain islands that have been dealing with this, you could get some gusty winds and some thunderstorms with this too. So just kind of clipping us by, watching Anguilla, St. Martin on the edge of Saba, Statia, St. Kitts and Nevis for this. Now these kind of pulse up where you see the brighter colors. That would be taller clouds in that heavier rain. So initially overnight, as what we sometimes see with these systems as they kind of breathe, they flare up a little bit, and then there's been some weakening, and we may see it flare up again as we get into tonight as this area continues to pass off on the edge of St. Kitts and Nevis and up through Anguilla, and then even back toward the British and U.S. Virgin Islands. That could give us a slightly better chance of some showers and storms. Now, it is an area, we're watching the models on this, and nothing's really developing this, but I did see it a few days ago, and that's why I wanted to point it out that I'm watching it. This will just continue to trek off toward the west-northwest, not expecting any development with this pocket. But know that I am watching it, because sometimes these smaller spins don't follow the rules, if you will, and they do their own thing. So in the short term, today, watching out for some of the extra rain, watching for any sort of spin up out of it, but just the conditions not conducive for further development, but that is bringing us some rain. So that's one area that I'm watching right there. Then you get out here, a couple areas. This tropical wave not organized. This here, that is Tropical Depression 7. I do believe, looking at some of the latest satellite imagery, that it is probably Tropical Storm Gordon at this point. We'll see if they officially name it, but it does look like a tropical storm. But look at this map, and this has been the story of the season so far, or at least the later portion of the season. This dry air in here, you see this orange shading? So as Tropical Depression 7, or soon to be Gordon, moves into that, the dry air is kind of eating at it, which means conditions aren't conducive for a lot of development out of that area, which is really good news. And we get over here watching this flare up. This is Ileana, and this will bring those tropical storm conditions into the Baja of California. So watching western Mexico with this area, so several spots. So let's get back to that with the modeling and what I'm seeing. Here's that other area up here. This is that area throughout the day that will weaken some in the northeastern Caribbean. It may flare up tonight more. There is Tropical Depression 7, soon to be Gordon. And then we have this over here, just a lot of rain. Anytime you get these big areas of rain this time of year, you watch them for some development. So going out in time here, this is by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon, watching out for spotty showers and storms. But there's Tropical Depression 7. It's going to be out there for days and days. It's just going to kind of wiggle its way into that dry air. So it may get stronger, then a little weaker, then a little stronger, but it's just going to kind of trickle its way off to the west. So as we go throughout the weekend, I'll be seeing how that kind of evolves, and I'll see how close it tries to get to us in the Caribbean, but no indication now that that's going to be working its way toward us as a whole in the Caribbean. This here's by Sunday. Now by Sunday, watching this area, look at the rain. This is an old front right through here. Here's Bermuda. And this spot here may develop. It could actually briefly spin up into a tropical storm. That's a possibility here, a Sunday into Monday, more so on Monday. If there's going to be development, it would look like Monday. So you can see here, the dry air that I showed you earlier, Tropical Depression 7, very weak at that point. If it's a tropical storm, it may weaken again. And then this area here will work its way up to the Carolinas, not into Bermuda. It's actually going to get pulled back up toward the Carolinas. But yes, it could briefly become a tropical storm. Very warm water currents through here. So going out in time, let's get into a week from now plus. This is by the time, actually, this is just under a week from now. This is by the time we get into next Thursday. The pattern will be like this next week. Lots of moisture here and lots of moisture here in the Western Caribbean and the Bay of Campeche and Western Gulf. So these will actually be a couple of just general areas that something may try to develop deeper into next week or over the next week or two. Watching close to home for signs of development, and then deeper. Now this is past a week from now, or a week from now. This is next Friday. There will be a couple spins out here, but for the most part, they should stay out there. It'll be these sectors in here that I'll be watching to see if any moisture builds, and that something kind of wants to spin up close to home. You have to watch these little spins in the areas close to home because, of course, if something were to develop, that would give us less time to prepare. But this here is Tropical Depression 7, soon to be Gordon. Could become Gordon, then weaken again, and then become Gordon. But for days and days, that is out there. So I don't want anyone worrying about that in the short term. It may get caught up in a front and then move away. Maybe it just falls apart. I'll wait and see on that. But that is kind of in a safe place. We could call it that. So Gordon, that is the next name. And then Helene and Isaac, Joyce, Kirk, Leslie after that. Now, this is the spot I'm watching here and watching the Atlantic region of Canada. Here's Bermuda. And we have these areas here. This is an old front. And along the fronts, you get these kind of impulses or areas of energy. You see some of these blobs of rain keeping the seas very elevated in the North Atlantic. But going out in time, you see not much for the Atlantic region of Canada. We could see a few showers near Newfoundland. But Saturday, just watching all of this rain, look at Bermuda. Lots of wet weather on the way. Elevated seas on the way, just taking you through the weekend. And then this here is Sunday, and then eventually Sunday into Monday, this area will try to spin up. You see it there, and yes, it could, the warm water current, the Gulf Stream runs right through here. So it's going to feed off of that. So yeah, it could become a named system. It could be potentially one of those named systems that last only about 12 hours, and then it will work in as we work our way into Monday night and into Tuesday. Now here's Ileana. Conditions are not favorable for crazy development at this point, but some heavier rain, some gustier winds at times, upwards of 50 miles per hour, 80 kilometers an hour, could be a little higher. As this goes to the north, most indications are in the Gulf of California. This is by tomorrow morning, and then through the day tomorrow that it will either weaken or just kind of maintain its strength, but I'm not seeing signs that it would develop a whole lot. And you can see here as we get into later tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, it actually kind of falls apart. So that's the trend on Ileana as this works its way off toward the north. And you see it reflected in the path here too. Tropical storm over toward Cabo San Lucas. The tropical storm conditions will be possible out of this. There are those winds at about 45 I mentioned. Could get up to about 50 miles per hour, maybe a little bit more, so 80 kilometers an hour, a bit higher, and then work its way into the Gulf of California, where it should eventually weaken. All the models in very good agreement, just bringing that up to the north and then weakening the next few days. If that changes, I'll let you know. So that's the name on the list, Ileana. Then after that, Eastern Pacific, different set of names, John, Christy, Lane, Miriam, and Norman. Now, as we get through the Caribbean, the area that I was watching bringing rain through Antigua and Barbuda should be weakening some for today, but still watching out for some areas of rain and storms, and of course the heat. It's been so hot, dusty in some spots too, but if you do get a storm, we'll get those gusty winds. This is tomorrow. No huge area of rain tomorrow, but some of those thunderstorms, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Cuba, a couple of those thunderstorms will be around. And then you see here some of that moisture building by Sunday, closer to Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama. We've had some of the extra rain just to plan through the weekend. I mentioned the North Atlantic, those high seas. This gives us an outlook. Here we are in the Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico. Meters, feet on the side of your screen. Seas are going to build north of the Bahamas. Makes sense this weekend. This is by the time we get into Sunday, upwards of about 5 meters or 15 feet just off the coast of the southeast U.S. That's that area that may develop. And you see this spot here, just watching this, you have Tropical Depression 7 out here and a few other tropical waves. So elevated seas, this here is by the time we get into Monday. So as far as rain goes, a lot of us nothing in just dealing with the heat, while others get some of these thunderstorms, may get a few, eastern Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic. We could get a couple in Jamaica. And if we get some in Jamaica, we could get some gusty winds with the thunderstorms. Could give us a quick 50 millimeters or 75 millimeters of of rain or 2 to 3 inches of rain if we get a storm. Same thing Puerto Rico. And you see how the rain chances are not too high, but Antigua and Bermuda, we already had that rain overnight. Just unsettled through here with that mini or micro spin that I'm watching that's pulling back through the northeastern Caribbean. And then a spotty shower storm possible. This here in Grenada is telling me, yeah, we're going to have some spots getting some rain the next few days, but it's not going to be widespread. This area may be over here or over here. So St. Vincent, the Grenadines, Grenada, some scattered showers and storms possible. St. Lucia, Barbados, where we could get 50 millimeters of rain or 2 inches of rain. Guyana, better chance of rain. Suriname, we're in that dry pattern. Still watching out for the potential of some flooding. Panama, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Belize, we're on the drier side. Only a slight chance of a shower storm. Heavier rain, though, around Mexico City. That's where we're going to still see some of that flooding. And of course, watching over here with Ileana, some of the rain totals could be close to 150 millimeters of rain or 6 inches of rain as that continues to lift its way to the north. So scattered areas of rain. Not all of us get it. Jamaica, we're looking at a 50 to 60% chance, about a 30 to 40% chance the next few days in the Cayman Islands. And you see Trinidad and Tobago, 30 to 40% chance, but we'll be up to a 60% chance on Sunday. Not all day, just a slightly better chance on Sunday as you maybe headed out to church. 30% today in Barbados, but a 50% chance for tomorrow. In the next 2 days, St. Lucia, a 50% chance of some scattered showers and storms. 50% chance today in Grenada. 30% chance tomorrow, back to a 50% chance on Sunday. And we're unsettled. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, some scattered showers and storms possible right through the weekend. A 40% chance in Martinique, and about a 40 to 50% chance in Dominica, and that even 50% chance the next 3 days in Guadeloupe. Rain chance, though, high. This is already panned out. Higher in Antigua and Bermuda. Now it's actually settling now with that system that passed by last night and earlier this morning. So watching that, St. Kitts and Nevis on the edge of that mini system, 50% chance, 50 to 60% chance, especially today. Anguilla, St. Bart's, you get over toward St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, elevated chance today, about a 40% chance tomorrow, and a 40 to 50% chance of some scattered showers and storms across Puerto Rico. And then this area by late today into early tomorrow, the one that moved through Antigua and Bermuda could give us a few more showers and storms. U.S. and British Virgin Islands, Bahamas, 50% chance of rain today favoring northern sections, only a 20% chance in the Turks and Caicos, and isolated thunderstorms, watching that back through the Dominican Republic and again over toward Haiti, about a 30 to 40% chance. Belize, though, next 2 days, 20% chance. That's it, 40% chance on Sunday. Aruba, we did have a couple showers overnight, may have slept through some of those, so the rain chance 20% for the rest of today. Same thing as we get into Curacao and Bonaire. Rain chance 50% in Guyana, but it is still low as we work our way to Suriname. Rain chance is small. Isolated showers and storms favoring the eastern end of Cuba, and there's that 70 to 80% chance Costa Rica and Panama, 40% chance the next couple days in Nicaragua, and about a 30% chance the next couple days in Honduras. But then we'll see the moisture building once we hit Sunday, and you see the rain chance building through the weekend, Guatemala and El Salvador, and I mentioned that flood threat in and around Mexico City. That flood threat's going to stick around for days. Yucatan generally dry today, 40% chance of a passing shower tomorrow, 20 to 30% chance northern Colombia, 30% chance the next 3 days in northern Venezuela, and there's that high chance of rain that I was showing you coming our way in Bermuda. So plenty to watch. Many spins to track. That little blob that's been near the northeastern Caribbean, tracking that, Tropical Depression 7, should become Tropical Storm Gordon, but watching those close to home or the potential of close to home systems developing. I mentioned Western Caribbean, the moisture is going to build in near the northern Bahamas as well as we go over the next couple weeks. So I'll watch out for anything trying to spin up. So thank you for being with me, and let me know in the comments what you have or don't have, what's ever going on with the weather. Put your location down. I'll go through those as we go throughout the day. I hope you have a great day ahead.